Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is February 12th, and I just thought I'd do a quick update tonight on what is coming on in through the day tomorrow and through Tuesday. As you can see, this cold air is on our doorstep, folks, out over the Gulf of Alaska. Models have handled this cold air very well over the last few days here, and it is now on our doorstep. So taking a look here, we got current hazards, winter storm warnings across some of the Cascades, Washington, Oregon, coastal range, winter weather advisories all over the place. We got wind advisories on the coast, Strait of Juan de Fuca, north central Oregon towards the Washington border. We got high wind warnings for some of the lee portions of the Rockies out there across Montana, and you can see the winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings out there as well. But now jumping into things here, Willamette Valley, generally less than a half an inch, but there is a winter weather advisory in effect from 10 p.m. Monday to 10 a.m. Tuesday. And you can see 1 to 3 inches above 500 feet there. So heads up for that. A lot of snow is going to be flying across some of the Willamette Valley out there, but it shouldn't be sticking too much on those surface roadways. Should be a little bit too warm out there, but just have a heads up on it, especially on the higher hills there. Now watching this, wind advisory here for the Washington coast, west to northwest winds, 20 to 35 miles per hour, gust to 50, and some unusual direction here with this wind speed here. Could bring down some branches and some trees a little bit easier than normal, as our strong winds usually come out of the southwest and the south during the winter months here. So watch out for that. Maybe some nuisance power edges associated. This is the Oregon coastal range here, 6 to 11 inches, 2 to 7 inches below 2,000 feet, winds gusting as high as 40. So watch out if you're traveling back and forth across the Oregon coastal range on through Monday into Tuesday. This is really, you could probably put this out for BC, Washington, and Oregon. Large breaking waves, 18 to 22 feet expected in the surf zone. Noon Monday through 4 a.m. Tuesday, dangerous swimming, surfing conditions, and localized beach erosion. If you're out there swimming in the Pacific Ocean, I don't even know what to tell you, but there's your warning right there. Now, taking a look here, 925 millibars, 2,500 feet. Gulf of Alaska is here. There's Washington, Oregon. You can see the arrival of this cold air. Nice visual here of it moving into the Pacific Northwest as we go through Tuesday morning, shown there. Now taking a look here, the European 18Z, this is this afternoon's run. If we put this into motion, you can see some convergence zone activity set up across the sound. Strong westerlies spawning that wind advisory across some of the Strait of Juan de Fuca here. Some of the Washington coastline there. You can see those stronger winds arrive as we get to Monday afternoon, shown there. And then we put that into motion there, and you can see these northerlies kind of flowing down the Puget Sound here by the time we get to Tuesday here. And what I've been watching here as we go on in through early Tuesday morning, some of the northerlies meeting up with some residual moisture left over here and forcing some convergence as it moves down the Puget Sound here on Tuesday morning, maybe dropping a little bit of snowfall with it here. But you can also see that there's a little bit of spin in the atmosphere here, and this is really going to impact some areas across Olympia South if the European is right. And that's why that winter weather advisory is up for portions of the Willamette Valley as well. More on that here in a moment. Now, here we're looking at the 6-hour precipitation by type, and you can see by the time we go into late Monday morning, afternoon, convergence zone activity going on across the Cascades. Snow really piling up across the Oregon Cascades as well. Snowflakes probably mixing in across Willamette Valley and western Washington, some of the heavier showers there as well. Go into Monday night, you see this convergence zone activity still going on across western Washington. And you can see that little subtle feature here going on down through southwest Washington into Oregon there. Kind of cuts off right by Olympia or Tacoma there by Tuesday morning, then finally moves south out of the region here. But not all models agree with this, so I'll show you what I mean here in a moment. This is looking at total snow accumulation according to that European run here shown that I just showed you here. But big snows are really a lock for the Washington, Oregon Cascades up into British Columbia as well. A little bit of a discrepancy here as the UW models show more precipitation in the form of snow across some of the coastal range here. But anyway, you can see that's bullseyeing some of the I-5 corridor between Olympia and down towards Kelso, Longview, and Portland down there on the European run. Now, taking a look here at 4 kilometer, this is hot off the presses here, folks. Let's see what the UW model has to say and put this into motion here. And you can see some of this convergence zone activity trying to drop some snowfall here as we go on into Monday night up towards Everett here, tomorrow night, I should say. And then as the northerlies start down the Puget Sound here early Tuesday morning, look at this. What's going on here? Some bullseye here across the central Puget Sound, down towards Tacoma, maybe in Olympia here. And things are going to be cooling down here by Tuesday morning as well. So we got to watch this feature really closely there. I mean, that light blue is 4 or 5 inches of snowfall there. So we got to watch that closely. And again, snowfall for the Cascades and the Olympics there is basically to lock some of the higher terrain down there through southwest Washington as well. Now, taking a look at Oregon here also, let's put this into motion. Snowfall starts to really pile up across the mountains there. And then as we go on into overnight, into early morning Tuesday, you can see some of these snowfall accumulations down through the Willamette Valley there, and especially on hilltops. So watch out for that all the way down through the Siskiyou Summit down here as well on I-5. Blue Mountains included there as well. Now looking at the NAM 3KM, we'll take a look at some of these winds coming through here and see if we can spot some of these features. So going to Monday afternoon, and you can see those strong winds moving down the westerlies through the Strait of Juan de Fuca here. Convergence zone activity going on. Now as we go on in through late Monday night, notice this spin in the atmosphere here. And you can see the northerlies coming down the Puget Sound by this point, about 3 a.m. Tuesday. You can see the spin here. And with these northerlies lining up here and the southerlies here, you could bring some convergence zone activity down the Puget Sound there. And I've seen this with my own eyes drop a few inches of snow. I've seen it do thunder snow. I picked up 5 inches in a surprise snowstorm here in 2017 on January 1st from a similar feature here. So this little feature down here needs to be watched. You can see the spin in the atmosphere clearly there. It's a northerlies coming down the Puget Sound there. And this would impact Portland and some of the Willamette Valley here as well. Now taking a look at the NAM 3KM, let's see what the precipitation map looks like here. We're scrolling through Monday, and you can see the convergence zone activity going on during the day. Maybe some snowflakes mixing in here with the heavier showers there. And you can see a stronger band up through later Monday evening here a bit north, push off into the Cascades. Then you see that feature kind of come across the area here. And right here is where those northerlies are meeting those southerlies here across some of the Puget Sound down towards Tacoma and Olympia here as we go on in through Tuesday morning. And again, you can get lightning in this, and you can get some accumulating snowfall, especially, you can get some unexpected snowfall here with this kind of setup here as this thing slides south out of the area by Tuesday later in the morning. Now looking at a wider view look at things here with the 3 kilometer. This is this evening's run here, I should say. And you've got some convergence zone activity coming across the region here. You can see some stronger showers, some snow mixing in here. Powerful convergence zone potentially across some of the central Puget Sound here Monday afternoon. Maybe get a lightning strike or two out of that. And then you can see this feature kind of slide down across southwest Washington here as well. And on in through Tuesday morning, the HRRR's kind of picking up on that signal there too as the northerlies move down the central Puget Sound there as well. And if they're strong enough and can generate some convergence, you could get some surprise snowfall with that feature there as well. But you can see multiple rounds of snowfall here and a couple different ways to get it as we go on in through Tuesday morning across Pacific Northwest. Now let's look at the high-resolution Canadian model here. Put this into motion, and you can see the Cascades of Washington, Oregon just getting hammered. And look at this band of snowfall there as we go on in through Monday night. It shows some northerlies coming down a little bit earlier here and forming a convergence zone around SeaTac and pushing back up into the foothills there, maybe hitting the Enumclaw Black Diamond out there as well. And then you can see that feature that moves through Tuesday morning. It starts to bring, excuse me, some snowfall down to the Willamette Valley as well, and again on the higher hills. But look at the amount of snowfall for some of the Cascade areas. Paradise, 46 inches there. But look at this band across just south of SeaTac here, off into Auburn and some of the foothills there, 6+ inches in that band. So some of the models are painting at some locally higher amounts here across the region. A little bit closer look at that here too, and you can kind of see this. This is a little bit of an outlier here where the northerlies come down the Puget Sound a little bit quicker here on the Canadian model versus the other models here. Then it does show some northerlies coming down the sound behind it as well with that next feature as we go on into Tuesday morning shown there. So anyways, you guys saw the UW kind of really brought up its game here across the central Puget Sound and really kind of threatening the Seattle Metro with some snowfall here as we go on in through very early Tuesday morning here. The European a little bit further south with that feature here and not as much across the central Puget Sound though. So we're just kind of watching it. I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I should be back in time to do my normal briefing before I head off to work tomorrow. So hopefully I will talk to you guys tomorrow about this again, and we'll try to see how these models trend here. And I'm really interested to see how some of these features play out, because I've seen these features do thunder snow, surprise snowfall, all kinds of things. Nothing's off the table right now. So we'll see how this trends on the day tomorrow. And I'm really interested to find out how this plays out here. But anyway, it's something to watch. And there's something towards the end of the month there too, as I showed you earlier today, that may keep us cooler. But models have kind of been waffling back and forth with that. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good night. Hope you enjoyed that Super Bowl. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.